You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, General Hospital fans. This is Soap Dirt on YouTube, and we have a special General Hospital Comings and Goings edition today. We want to talk about whether Luke Spencer is about to show up alive on the soap, and there's a reason we're asking this, and it's about that piece of land in Victor Cassadine's will, and we're wondering if that ties back to what happened with Luke. And we've got some little clues and some breadcrumbs that have been dropped that might indicate that Luke is not dead. We're going to talk about that. But first, if you've not already, please reach down, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our General Hospital comings and goings, spoilers, promos, predictions, and more. All right, so you'll remember at Victor Cassadine's will reading, where he was snarky and mean and weird and typical Victor, that he left a piece of property in Chechnya, Russia, to his nephew, Nikolas Cassadine. Why did he do this? Okay, so maybe it is to put Nick's former stepdad's fate in his hands. What if Victor stored Luke Spencer at that remote site in Chechnya, but he left the property to Nikolas, so then Nikolas would have Luke's fate in his hands, and he could use it as leverage or to his benefit. All right, because the bottom line is that bringing Luke Spencer home, or proving that Luke Spencer is alive, even if he's not going to come home to Port Charles, which of course he's not going to do, it could have been Victor offering his nephew Nikolas a shot at redemption, because Nikolas is in hot water with a lot of people because he stashed, his pregnant young fling who was his son's girlfriend in, one of the towers at his mansion, and was keeping her hidden away, even though he was getting her prenatal care. But it was a crime, and it was awful. And, Nikolas is definitely in hot water, perhaps with the law, but definitely with everybody who cares about him. And the thing is, right now, Nikolas is in a coma, and he's presumed by most of the people, though, to be on the run. The only people that know about him being in a coma are Mason, Ava, and Austin Gatlin Holt. The rest of the family just thinks that he ran off to avoid being arrested for the Esme thing. But people are still upset because he's gone, because they think he should be getting to know his son, Ace Cassadine, and he should be around for his other son, Spencer. So we do know that they must find something in Chechnya when they go. And right now on the trip going, I believe, Laura Spencer, her husband Kevin Collins, and I think that we've also got Anna and Valentin going, because Valentin insisted he would go along, and so I have to assume that Anna's going to go. And I think this is going to cover the summer break. Genie Francis and Finolas Hughes, who play Laura and Anna respectively, generally take a lengthy summer break, and this might be setting the plot line for that, where, we'll be hearing that they're gone to Chechnya, and people will be saying things like, oh, I got a call from Laura, she's doing fine. Things like that to cover up for their breaks. James Patrick Stuart sometimes takes part of the summer off because he films other shows for Disney. And Jon Lindstrom, I don't even think he's on contract. I think he's on recurring anyway as Kevin Collins, now that Ryan's been killed off. So I do think that it's not gonna be, action-packed and immediate with Chechnya. I think those people are gonna leave, and this is gonna be their summer break. But then, when they're done, we'll have more on this front burner. This is my theory at any rate. So back to when they finally do get to Chechnya, and if it's not a Cassadine there, or Nikolas, as Laura hopes to find there, could it possibly be Luke Spencer? Let's think about Victor Cassadine's other victims that predated this last reign of terror up in the Arctic. Holly isn't dead. Nathan wasn't dead. He was going to auction him off. if somebody wanted to kill him, but he wasn't dead. Lucy Coe was supposedly killed, but she wasn't dead. Victor shot Anna, and she survived. So with the soap powers that be intervening so that most of Victor's victims survive, why not Luke? Why would General Hospital leave Luke Spencer dead if they didn't have to, unless, of course, they're trying to kill any fan hopes that he will ever be back again, which is possible. But, Victor might have stashed Luke away and just left, some kind of corpse or fake thing in that wasn't like a gondolier that goes up the mountain that fell, a cable car, something like that. So why would Victor have actually killed him off when he could keep him and use him for power or influence or leverage later, or let him go if he wanted to? Who knows? All right, we're going to dig into 2 important tidbits about Tony Geary, the actor who plays Luke, that may give you some information about what we could possibly expect about this Chechnya twist and who they're going to find there. But if you haven't already, please reach down, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our General Hospital spoilers, casting news, and more. All right, so Tony Geary lives in Amsterdam pretty much full-time now. He said he was going to learn the language so he could act and, fulfill that side of himself creatively over there. He comes back to the U.S. now and then, and occasionally does some work over here, and, there'll be photos posted on social media of him and some of the other legacy actors that have been on GH forever. But he generally is, over in Amsterdam. That's where his life is. And he seems to have very little interest in reappearing on General Hospital. When he finally left, he said he'd been wanting to leave for 20 years. He said he was just tired of it. So, and a recast seems extremely unlikely. But, and this but is a big but, it's a big important but, is that Luke did show up. Anthony Geary came to film scenes as Luke several years back for Jane Elliott's last day. That was when she stepped away from being contract and said she was leaving. She's come back to do a few short arcs here and there, but I don't think she's interested in staying either. But he came back for Jane Elliott's last day. He did not say any lines that I can remember. I think we saw Tracy walk up to him and he was at a table, because I think they supposedly live maybe in Amsterdam now. I don't know. They live in Europe somewhere. And I think she walked up to the table and he looked up at her and he smiled. I think that was it, because they built up this hype oh, Luke's back. And then it was okay, yeah, that's visually Luke, but we didn't get even a scant line of dialogue. So maybe they're going to do that kind of thing again. They're going to find him in Chechnya and he's going to just, give him a peace out and walk away, and that'll be it. I wouldn't be surprised if they went that route. Let us know what you think, and if you do want to have Luke back, and if you hope he's what they find in Russia.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.